It's no secret that George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, was heavily influenced by Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey. The hero's journey can easily be seen in the adventures of Luke Skywalker as he conquers the evil galactic empire and in the process redeems his fallen father, Anakin Skywalker, or Darth Vader. As Season 2 of The Mandalorian has progressed, elements of the hero's journey have emerged, making it clear that Din Djarin is now on the classical hero's quest. Welcome to the dantooinefreepress, a home for lovers of science fiction, action-adventure, fantasy, and superheroes. We review movies and TV shows, offer opinions on contemporary issues, and show off our toys and collectibles. We hope you enjoy your stay, and subscribe so you can join us again in the future. To briefly summarize, Campbell examined myth and literature across several cultures and came up with what he thought was the monomyth that existed across cultures. This is what Campbell labeled as the hero's journey. There are many elements that Campbell identified, and not every element is present in every hero's story. But Campbell's work provides a useful guide to what we have seen in past myths and literature, and what we may see in the future as the adventures of Din Djarin continue to unfold. At the core of the hero's journey we have, of course, our hero. He tends to be an orphan, a person of mysterious parentage, sometimes magical, sometimes just unknown. It is a heritage of which the hero is often initially unaware, and sometimes the myth will flush out that heritage and it becomes more significant to the story. The hero will be inspired to engage in an epic quest. Mostly, the full magnitude of that quest is not evident at first, but as the quest unfolds, its significance becomes more apparent. It is a quest that is bigger than the hero, and it is bigger of the world that he has known up until now. Before embarking on this quest, there is something that's trying to stop the hero. It's something usually connected to his heritage, his past, or his home. It can take the form of a monster. It can take the form of an attachment to his past. It can be an injury or a past sin. Sometimes the hero overcomes it early in the quest. Sometimes it lingers and rears its ugly head at some point just before the hero can complete his quest. In more tragic stories, the hero fails to overcome it, and the quest ends unsuccessfully. The hero will often have a magic talisman, an object. In movie terms, it may be called a MacGuffin, an object that protects him and helps him along in his journey. Sometimes there is more than one talisman. The hero eventually loses the talisman, but that doesn't mean that the quest is over. It just means that the hero relies less on some kind of divine intervention and relies more on his own abilities and skills. Abilities and skills that he continues to develop as his quest progresses. He may pick up a new talisman along the way, something that symbolizes greater self-reliance, as it is either something that he has crafted himself or something that he has won in battle. To help the hero along his journey, he meets an older guide or teacher, a master. This master will often have something in his past, an injury that the hero will need to fix. At first, the skill of the teacher will far exceed that of the student, but eventually, as a mark of the hero's maturity and readiness to finish his quest, the hero will surpass his master in skill. This may lead to the death of the master, sometimes before the hero has accepted that he has indeed surpassed his master in skill and is ready to finish his quest. If the quest is successful, It will result in a legendary battle, where the hero, relying on his own skills, defeats an incredibly powerful antagonist. And if you look, you can see these elements throughout literature, myths, and storytelling. The elements are present, for example, in the story of King Arthur. In Arthurian lore, the myth takes on the form of the legend of the Fisher King. The Fisher King is the last in a long bloodline that protects the Holy Grail. The Fisher King has been wounded, usually in the leg or in the groin, and he cannot stand. But he gets his name from the fact that he fishes in a small boat. If you apply this to the movie The Natural, the Fisher King is the New York Knights manager Pop Fisher, whose injury is that he's never been able to win a pennant. Roy Hobbs is the hero, and he has to overcome the injury that he suffered when he was shot under illicit circumstances. He must do this to defeat the Judge, the evil majority owner of the Knights, who will win Fisher's share in the team if Fisher does not win the pennant this season. In the movie version, Hobbs does overcome his own lust in order to help Fisher win the pennant in a one-game playoff. But in the novel version, Hobbs fails to overcome his lust, and thus fails to complete his quest. Star Wars, Harry Potter, The Terminator, and many comic book superhero films follow the path of the hero's journey, so it should not be surprising that The Mandalorian appears to be going down that same road. We know that Din Djarin is an orphan. A foundling is what he's called. His parentage is a mystery. When the series opened, Mando is a simple but skilled bounty hunter who has no desire to go on any special quest. That is, until he encounters a strange bounty, a 50-year-old child of a mystical species that possesses seemingly magical powers. Mando is charged with returning the child, whom we now know as Grogu, to a race of mystical sorcerers, as he believes they are, known as the Jedi. But Din Djarin's past is holding him back. For one thing, as a bounty hunter or a sort of mercenary, he has committed a number of sins over the years. More urgently, a dark figure from his past, indeed the past of his home planet Mandalore, a warlord left over from the remnants of the Galactic Empire, Moff Gideon, stands in his way. What Mando's talisman or magical object was came more into focus during the second season of The Mandalorian. It was his ship, the Razor Crest. As the series progressed, his ship, which was a beat-up freighter, took on more and more significance for Mando. For the first few episodes of the second season of The Mandalorian, Din Djarin was obsessed with keeping the Razor Crest in working order. And then, like many talismans from the hero's journey, he lost the Razor Crest when Moff Gideon destroyed it. But this is a necessary part of the hero's journey. It shows that Mando is overcoming his reliance on past help and becoming more and more self-reliant. The fact is, while Din Djarin must feel almost helpless, he is not without hope. Mando won his own talisman, a spear made of Beskar, when he helped the former Jedi Ahsoka Tano defeat the evil and corrupt magistrate Morgan Elsbeth. The magistrate ruled with an iron fist over the city of Caladan on the planet of Corvus. As a reward for the role that Mando played in helping Ahsoka defeat the magistrate, Ahsoka awards him with the magistrate's spear, which is made of Beskar, the same metal that makes up the traditional Mandalorian armor. It is a mystical metal with properties that can resist laser blasts and gave the Mandalorians an edge in their ancient conflicts with their old enemy, the Jedi. I expect to see the Beskar spear, which survived the destruction of Mando's old talisman, the Razor Crest, play a much larger role in the eventual defeat of Moff Gideon. Ahsoka reveals much about the child whom many were calling Baby Yoda because of his resemblance to the Jedi Master. Up until that particular episode, he is of the same species as Yoda, a species that has heretofore been unidentified in the Star Wars universe. Ahsoka unlocks much of Baby Yoda's past, such as his name, Grogu, as well as the fact that he was a youngling who was being trained by the Jedi before Darth Vader murdered the Jedi who were present at the temple on Coruscant. Now, one may have concluded that Ahsoka would have been the older teacher and guide, typical of the hero's journey. But I do not believe that that is the case. I believe that she was just a new ally encountered along the way. She certainly helped move the story along, but we know that Ahsoka, well, she's going to get her own series on Disney+, and I believe that her reference to Grand Admiral Thrawn, a favorite nemesis of fans of the expanded universe, as well as the cartoon series Rebels, is going to be the focus of her new series, and not necessarily a big part of Mando's journey. The role of Master, or older guide, I believe, is going to be played by the old bounty hunter Boba Fett. We've already seen that Boba Fett has an old injury that Din Djarin has to help him cure. That injury was the loss of Fett's Beskar armor. Now, we believe that this happened as a result of his escape from the Sarlacc pit. Whatever the cause, Mando obtained the armor from Cobb Vanth when he helped Vanth destroy the Krayt Dragon, a huge desert-dwelling carnivorous worm that inhabited the Tatooine Desert around the city of Mos Pelgo, where Vanth lived and protected the residents. Later, in the battle to try to protect Grogu when he's brought to the Jedi Temple on the planet of Tython, Fett reacquires the armor and exhibits skill in battle that far exceeds that of Din Djarin. Mando has successfully cured Boba Fett's ancient injury. And now Boba Fett, along with his companion, Fennec Shand, are committed to assist Din Djarin in saving Grogu from the clutches of the sinister Moff Gideon. Boba Fett is in the position to be the master who teaches Mando greater skills as Mando finishes his quest. Now, spoiler alert to those who don't want to hear my predictions based on the trajectory of this tale that I think I've identified. Look for Din Djarin to learn from Boba Fett and eventually show skill greater than those of the old bounty hunter. Unfortunately, there is a good chance that Boba Fett will perish right before Mando rescues Grogu. Perhaps it will be in a very significant role that makes the completion of Mando's quest possible. We also now have the grand mystery of whether a powerful Jedi who survived Order 66 will now come to the aid of Din Djarin and Grogu. But I don't see the Jedi becoming Mando's guide and master. If a Jedi does appear, he or she will more likely be the guide for the fledgling Grogu. We now have one episode left of the second season of The Mandalorian, and I don't see the complete resolution of Mando's hero's journey. After all, The Mandalorian has become Disney Plus's biggest hit on its streaming platform. I am sure that Disney would like to end the season on some kind of cliffhanger in order to entice viewers to come back for Season 3. But I would expect to see more revelations of the hero's journey as the plot develops further in the future adventures of Din Djarin and Grogu. My name's Bill Kovatch. I'm the creator and primary contributor to the dantooinefreepress. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel and give us a like. Let us know in the comments below what topics you would like to see in the future. And hit that bell button if you would like to receive notification of whenever we release a new video.